Hey Cancer, what is going on? Thanks so much for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we are looking at your weekly energy. So happy day to everyone. I don't know if I really have an intro. Oh, I think keys on a ring, options, kind of assessing, seeing what's in front of you, etc. We are at the tail end of Pisces season. We're about to start a zodiac new year, which is quite exciting. Gives us an opportunity to kind of revamp, you know, what our goals, our desires are for whatever we're trying to manifest. These readings are timeless, so it doesn't really matter when you watch them. As long as it resonates, then you'll know it's meant for you. All right, Cancer, let's get into it. Let's see, what's the dealio, highest and best message for the Cancer collective. Highest and best message. Is there anything else? I don't know. I feel like this week's been kind of a little low key. Lots of kind of like peeling away and doing, engagement ring. Are you trying to get engaged with someone? Or someone wants an engagement with you? I feel like there is still contemplation around. I mean, for some of you, a small group of you, there might be a proposal involved, really looking to commit to someone or something. It doesn't have to be romantic, right? Engagement is when we kind of make those practical steps to show that we are committed to whatever it is that we're working on, whether that's relationship, career, hobbies, etc. So I feel like this is heavily on your mind for some reason, you know? Well, that makes sense. Someone's running away, right? So whether that's you or someone else, leaving the situation, exiting, you know, even a situation can, you know, we can kind of feel the energy when something is pulling away or kind of dissipating, you know. And I feel like for some of you, this might be about looking to make a commitment in order to keep that person, place, or thing around. So, you know, there might have been some fear around doing this in the past. Really looking to rebirth. It's like to like kind of take different steps, especially if this is you as the one who is non-committal. You know, this definitely has the energy around it of like reassessing, reevaluating choices that you've made in the past. Places where you're taking a lot of responsibility for not being as committed or communicating that to, you know, whatever you've been dealing with. There's been some resistance, right? So you do feel a strong connection with someone or something. It definitely feels very in alignment with you and for you. And maybe this is part of like where that confusion is coming into play, right? I don't know why I put my coffee right there. It's a very awkward spot. But you know, I think here's the thing, kind of like what I'm hearing is I feel like there is a desire to show either that you're better than this or that, you know, maybe you intended for things to go differently. You wanted this thing to really work out. Because I get this strong sense that you don't want to let this person or situation run away. And I feel like, I mean, I'm hearing it, especially if you're the one who's non-committal, Cancer. And that could be for a small few of you. You'll know if that resonates, obviously. It can always be opposite energies. This is a general collective reading, right? So I feel like this person is running towards fresh new beginnings for themselves, right? Not trying to stay complacent any longer. But you know the connection within this relationship, and I feel like that's where, yeah, Six of Cups, it's confirming. This might have been someone that you've been around for a long time. You know, it doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have to be love, but obviously Six of Cups has that love soulmate vibe to it. This is also just about having kind of like those nostalgic feelings of the past. And anytime we feel that deep connection with someone, when they leave our presence, we're definitely going to feel that. And, you know, as humans, we might not be as great about communicating what someone or something means to us and putting the right kind of action and intention towards it. It can get so easy to get caught up in our own stuff, right? I think you have a lot going on in your mind surrounding this situation. I feel like this situation or person, like I said, has been in your life for a long time, and now things are changing. There is a rebirth, and I feel like you don't really know what is going to happen yet, because there's that heartbreak right there with the Three of Swords, right? Like when we kind of feel like our heart is ripped out or being torn apart, especially if someone is running away from us, that never feels good, you know. But we'll get into it a little deeper, see what's up. And so in your energy, it is a lot is falling apart, a lot is going on. I think you weren't 100% expecting this, Cancer, is what I'm hearing, because in your previous readings you've kind of been having this, I don't know, like just kind of dealing with this stressful individual, not really getting the full story. A lot is being left to the imagination. And now it's like, oh, well, actually this is happening, you know. But I also, I mean, and we'll look at their energy too, because I also kind of recall this element where maybe it's not, maybe, you know, it is about just saying goodbye. Where have you been a little bit too defensive or too guarded? Seven of Wands is that energy of doing it all by ourselves. And I feel like that's also the fear of like what's going to happen next, you know? Obviously, you don't want to lose this person or situation. It's very overwhelming what's happening. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you are, and you can't really take any sort of help that's being offered because you're almost fearing the worst. And that's so easy. We're in Pisces season. Everything feels exasperated, exaggerated. Sorry, I had to think about that one for a second. You know, and probably exasperated. That's kind of like when we run out of steam, you know. And with that Seven of Wands energy, like I said, you're trying to protect yourself. You're trying to protect you and what you've worked for. But unfortunately, in this situation, Cancer, it's kind of put you very much on the defensive. And you're coming into combat with someone like either you've been too rigid with the Emperor. The Emperor is Aries energy. You could be dealing with an Aries or a fire sign, or someone who's just being very disciplined and very cold is what I'm hearing. Not giving into, because for you, like I said, it's like everything's falling apart. And for them, I feel like they're not really like meeting your needs in the way that maybe you had wanted or hoped. That's the hard thing, right? When we aren't standing up in honest communication about what we want and what we need, it leaves a lot to the imagination, right, Cancer? And I think that part of the challenge for you is, wanting this engagement, wanting this commitment, but not actually like putting in the time, the energy, the commitment towards it. It's kind of been more of like this pie in the sky thing for you. And so this person just like refuses to, okay, like it shows like they're offering you something in a certain way. In their mindset, it's, we can start fresh, we can start over. There's a lot of boundaries around it. But it's not like, woo, we love each other, let's have a party. You know, it's not like that at all. It's very much like it's gonna be my way from now on. I will give this to you, but you're gonna have to deal with my choices and how I want it to look moving forward. Because with this Knight of Cups energy, with you vibing as that Knight of Cups, Cancer, and that being your black, that really talks about how, you know, like I said, maybe your intention was there, maybe your heart was in the right place, but it didn't really manifest in that way. And I feel like this Emperor is like, no more. They're kind of sick of it, maybe, is what I'm hearing. Whether that's warranted or not, you know, whether you feel like, I just think that like, you taking a second, taking some time to sit down, think about it, really kind of reflect on past conversations or how you've showed up, you know, things that you've done to really display your level of commitment. That's going to give you a little bit more clarity around this, because you do have the Lovers, and in this person's energy, it's the Two of Cups. So it is like synergy, masculine, feminine, yin yang, that lover vibe. It's here, but it's being blocked because I feel like for you, like I said, a lot is falling apart and it's really, really stressing you out. And I feel like you don't really know how to handle it. So you're kind of just like, you know, it's like when it reminds me of like when you stick a bobby pin in an outlet, you know, it's like your hair and you're shocked. And not that that's fun. I'm really sorry, Cancer. It's not fun at all, right? To be in that space. And I'm also hearing too for you that it's really hard to think clearly when you're in that mindset, because you are a little bit more on the defensive. You are going to self-protect. You don't want to get hurt anymore. And this person is not bending. They're not bending. They're not flexing anymore. It's very much, like I said, that Emperor is such a, you know, it's the quintessential masculine vibe. So it's the male archetype, or masculine archetype, excuse me. It doesn't matter what gender you are. We all have masculine, feminine energies, etc. But this is a lot about just someone who's, it's like very cold, calculated, systematic. It's like, you know. And like I said, it's interesting because they are, like, you know, they're offering you something and it's on some wavelength of love, whether you feel it or not. But it's not like we're going to jump into happy home, happy party if that's not really what's happening. Because whether or not, you know, I feel like you both have to do some thinking and healing around this. It does need to be a little bit of a brainstorming session with how you're going to move forward. Neither of you are doing that. Intuition is coming into play with the High Priestess, which is going to give you that clarity. Queen of Wands. There's that Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, fire energy. Yeah, I mean, I just almost feel like it's too stressful. That's the bottom line. And that kind of goes back to, you know, previous readings that we've had over the past couple weeks, couple months or so. It's all building up for you, Cancer, to kind of release and move on and have fresh new life, right? With that butterfly. Just because someone is our soulmate doesn't mean they have to stay in our life for forever. I really believe that, you know, we make those contracts before we manifest into physical life with other souls. And it feels to me like and I'm not saying one way or the other, that's where free will comes into play, but it feels like this situation is going to be moving on. I think it's just hard for you right now, and I think that totally makes sense. Of course you're going to be attached to it. The cicada. They actually like bury themselves. They're those bugs in the summertime that make those really intense sounds, you know. They burrow into the ground. But it is really about, you know, rebirth, new life for you, and not being so afraid of that. It's hard. I mean, I think that that's way easier said than done. This person needs to get a little bit more grounded. Maybe they weren't or the situation, like, and that kind of goes back to that silver lining. It's a blessing in disguise, right? It wasn't the right fit. It wasn't the right mix. Even if you would have, you know, gotten what you wanted out of this, I think it would have fallen apart eventually anyway, because like I said, this person needs to be a little bit more grounded. The tarantula is very powerful. It's a powerful, like, to me, this is a lot about, you know, when the hard stuff forces us to grow and evolve. And so, yeah, there's connections here. There's a lot of strength, but not everything is meant to last forever. And it's scary walking away. It's scary leaving behind. It's scary starting a fresh new cycle. No one is, you know, I mean, unless someone's like blatantly attacking you, that's not the best. But I feel like for most of you, it's like no one's right, no one's wrong. There was different perspectives, different ways of going about things. It was going to end up like this anyway, is what this energy is saying. And I know that's not always the easiest pill to swallow, right? But I also feel like Spirit really wants you to move forward just as much. So Cancer, I hope this helped. I'm sending you so much love and blessings to everything you're navigating through. I know these things aren't easy. I'm totally here for personal reading, wellness service, energy healing, etc. I love to support. Definitely give a big thumbs up if it resonated. Drop comments below. Sending lots of love and blessings your way.